Stop! Oh my god! I don't want to play this game with you.
Why not?
Because I'm hungry. Okay, I'm going to eat. No.
Playing It Takes Two makes you feel like you went to marriage counseling with your spouse, but instead of talking, the counselor just gave you some strips of acid and said, "Take 2 of these and call me in the morning." It Takes Two is a platform action adventure puzzle game, and here's the story. You play as a husband and wife, you hate each other and want a divorce.
Stating a fact. Why don't we just go ahead and tell her that we're divorcing?
Oh, just like that.
Your daughter is upset about this and cries on some voodoo dolls that she made out of wood and clay. Then the 2 of you go to sleep, but when you wake up, your consciousness has been transferred into the dolls that your daughter made. Now, you need to learn to work together to repair your love and also get back into your bodies. Yeah, I'm not convinced this little girl isn't a witch and purposely used some black magic to do this. You can play It Takes Two on pretty much every relevant platform. You can play with a controller or a mouse and keyboard. However, I don't really know why you'd use a mouse and keyboard for this game. Anyways, here's the menu settings. The graphics in It Takes Two are, I'd say, decent. The colors are vibrant, there's a cartoony, almost Disney-like aesthetic to it. Lighting, textures, all that. Good. Just good though. Similar to Tarkov, where it's one step below a AAA game, in my opinion. Here are the system requirements. Your wooden and clay asses can perform a variety of different mechanics, such as parkour from wall to wall, hauling ass by sprinting, crouching to go through low-hanging obstacles, sticking to walls like that one sock. You know the one. Jumping, and also double jumping. Swiftly dashing out of the way of impending death. Obligatory grapple hook mechanic in modern platformers. Hi-ya! Use your item, which changes with each level. More on that later. Interact with things like vacuum cleaner hoses to launch your partner across ledges and whatnot. Or just be a dickhead and shoot them into the eternal abyss of darkness. Show how much of a skater boy you are by sliding on some rails until you are told, buy a minecart. Pick up random stuff to complete puzzles, slam yourself on things such as buttons, or even smash yourself through some glass. The general gameplay loop is go through a level by doing a variety of puzzles, such as this one where a person throws nails to make a metal sheet pop out of the wall, and the other person has to jump to and from them to ascend. You also have to perform some gamer gymnastics to avoid hazards, and sometimes enemies. Once you're done doing that stuff, you get to a boss and kill it, then proceed to the next level. The main thing you're going to be doing is following a linear path and doing puzzles to advance the story, but they spruce it up a bit with some competitive minigames, including but not limited to Whack-A-Dummy, where one person wields their hammer and tries to whack the dummy, and the other person tries to pop up long enough to earn points. Pretty cool. There's some mind game elements. Or how about good old-fashioned button mashing contests with tug-of-war? Male players usually have the advantage here because
my right arm is a lot stronger than my left arm,
if you know what I mean. Or the poop dislodger minigame, where you shoot these targets to make them go towards your opponent, and score points if they don't shoot them before they get to the end of the track. Pretty cool idea. As mentioned earlier, each player gets their own unique items throughout the game that give them an ability each level, but you don't ever go back to using them. It's one and done, so it keeps the gameplay really fresh. I really like this mechanic. Anyways, here they are. You got nails and the hammer. The hammer smashes obstacles and lets you whack lever things to, for example, make a platform go up. Then the nails can be thrown to lock said platforms in place. Or how about the fire exploding sniper rifle, which doesn't do much on its own, but if you shoot the other player's nectar which they launch from a cannon, it makes the bad guys turn into not guys. There's a bunch of different environments in It Takes Two, such as in the walls of a house, the inside of a tree, which is actually the secret tree base of a militant squirrel colony who are sworn enemies with the wasps and task you with destroying them.
Kill the wasps and the agent in the robot and we'll help you get
Float down the not-so-lazy river, get sucked up into hurricanes, and defend yourself from explosive fat things. Fly the underwear plane through a tunnel and avoid obstacles or shoot the turret if you're the other person. There is no difficulty adjuster, but I'll say this. If you're experienced at platformers, you'll die semi-often, maybe once or twice per sequence until you figure it out. But if you're not an experienced platformer, you'll die real often. The good news is, you can respawn very quickly by button mashing, and the only way you can get a game over is if you were both dead at the same time. There's not a whole lot of enemies. It's definitely a game more oriented to platforming, but here they are. Generic B enemies that try to stab you. However, there's also Big Cusso, who is very large, has frontal spooge repellent armor, and will try to bisect you. Relieve him of the burden of life by blowing a load on his back and making him go boom. The Beetle Dude, which is a mini boss who charges you. Trick him into running over a nectar-filled grate to explode him, and you have bosses at the end of each level. There's Tim the Toolbox Tailor, who tries to preemptively impale you. Avoid that, avoid his saws which cut off parts of the boss arena. Avoid his spatula thwack attack, and then smash it with your hammer to fling yourself in the air, and kill him by blowing his top. And there's the Die Son 3000, the neglected and vengeful shop vac. Not much here. He shoots explodey things at you, then you have to work cooperatively with your partner to suck and subsequently shoot said explodey things back at him. Then once he's weak enough, use his own arm hoses to suck out his eyes. Not every character in the game wants to leave you as a charred and mangled corpse on the ground though. Your marriage-fixing Sherpa is Dr. Hakim, or more realistically, the Dickhead. Every time the two of you are about to reach your goal, he'll come in, give you some speech about love, and then make your journey harder by, for example, having the vacuum guy launch you across a room. The most frustrating thing about the game is probably working cooperatively with your partner at some points. They literally hold your fate in their hands. They can screw up 20 times in a row and cause you to die. They can be an asshole and purposely get you killed, or just keep pounding you into the ground over and over. This game is strictly 2-player co-op. You cannot play the game by yourself, so get some friends and or a gamer significant other. However, if you refuse to do one of those things, there are Discord servers that you can find people to play with. Also, each copy of the game on PC comes with a friend pass, meaning your friend doesn't need to purchase the game to play with you. Google on how to do it. We've played through this game 2.5 times and never encountered a glitch, so that's pretty solid. Overall, It Takes Two is a fun, solid platformer. The puzzles are interesting, and they're always kept fresh by changing up the items you get from level to level. The game has a meme vibe to it. The report of the main characters being salty at each other is pretty hilarious. Some of the situations you're put in are just absurd and outlandish. Boss fights are unique and memorable. The concept of cooperatively solving puzzles with another person is executed well. And bonus points, it's a really good game to play with your significant other, even if they aren't a sick, hardcore 420 MLG gamer. Because it's not crazy hard, it can be enjoyed by casuals. And it won Game of the Year in 2021, so that's gotta be worth something. On our patented 0 to 1 scale, we rate this game a 0.88 out of 1. Overall, it's a great game, but personally, I wish they had more enemies to fight. Not every level has bad guys to slaughter. I don't know, I just like fighting enemies. That's just my opinion though. As always, join your mouse pointer and the like button in holy matrimony, and then click on it like you missed it. Slam yourself on that sub button and leave a comment telling us why you didn't press the like or sub button. Thank you, good night, and don't forget about that laundry in the washer. It's gonna get stinky.